2 minutes past 1 p.m. this Monday, the 9th day of January, 2023. Good afternoon. My name is Joyce Chuks. You're on to Super 88.1 FM, your number one family radio station. It's day one of full broadcast, and you're welcome to the very first episode of Mother and Child of the Year.
We're the reason they put speakers in your car.
You better ask somebody.
We are Super FM.
I'm so excited to be talking to you this new year. Welcome, mummies and daddies, to our quintessential parenting show. We're currently live on Facebook, like we always do on Mother and Child, at Super FM Benin, so you can go there and listen. But something even more interesting is happening. We're bringing a new experience to radio, and now you can watch us on our app live through the day. Our app is Super FM Global. You can find it on the Google Play Store, and you can watch the studio live. I'm in the studio right now. DJ Gomechi is also in the studio in full view, and so is Osazena in full view. So you can join me either by using the app to listen, or you can watch us on the app and also on Facebook Live at Super FM Benin. And of course, feel free to drop your comments. I will be reading as many of them as possible. When you come through, just say hi and let me know that you've joined us on our live video. So it's January. We're in January again, and we're getting ready for all the bills that come with January, parents. All the school fees and the PE vest. And, they have so many things they do these days. Culture day, this day, that day. So many expenses are piling on the heads of parents. So I just want to ask you, first of all, how are we doing? Parents, mommies and daddies, how are we doing this January? How are we seeing the expenses? How are we coping? Are we doing okay? Just call me first of all and just tell me, how are we looking towards the expenses that January has brought to us as parents? Please call me. Let's talk about it. 0705 512 9881. And also, if you have tips for other parents on how to put together the expenses that come with January, to manage the expenses and the expectations, how you normally do it in your own household, please feel free to tell me. Here's the numbers to call: 0705 512 9881 or 0705 572 7881. Of course, you can send me text messages and WhatsApp messages to this number: 0705 967 6881. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, please turn down the volume on your radio set before you make that call. Thank you so much. It'll be better if we have no feedback. The numbers to call are 0705 512 9881 or 0705 572 7881. And of course, text and WhatsApp are very welcome. 0705 967 6881. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jude. I'm calling from Sapler Road.
Okay, welcome. Are you a parent?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you seeing the January expenses? Oh, wow, 11 years. You are a senior daddy.
Yeah.
So how are you seeing the January expenses?
Coincidentally, today is my birthday.
Oh, fantastic. Happy birthday to you, daddy. How are you spending your birthday? Hello? Oof. Do call me back. Do text and WhatsApp as well. 0705 967 6881. Now, January is a time of the year where parents have a lot of expenses to make. There's a lot of money to be spent. There are things to buy. There are things to stock up the house in. And it's, it can be especially taxing because the Christmas holidays just ended. All the money that you spend during Christmas was something else already. And now you have to start paying fees and buying school fees, registering your kids for extramural lessons. Hi, Alexia. Thank you for joining. Hi, Antonia. Thank you so much for joining. And all the things that the new year normally brings. It can be a hassle for a lot of parents. But there's something that I want to bring to your notice today as parents. And it's a certain kind of planning that comes with the new year. Now, for a lot of us in this country, it seems like planning might not be our strong suit. While we keep in mind that there's a lot of things for us to do, planning towards those things can be a tad difficult. But I have a system that I did a little bit of research on, and I want to share that system with you if you'd like to hear it. I'll be sharing a few tactics and skills that may just help us to start off the year on the best note possible. Voke is in GRA. Voke, good afternoon. How are you doing? Voke says the school bills are very outrageous, but what to do now? We move. I also have this text message from Francis. Francis says, "Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for this platform. The school fees these days are out of control. It's even difficult for you to just pay simple fees because school fees are so expensive. But what can we do? We need our children to get good education." I can imagine, Francis, it can be quite hectic. I'm getting a WhatsApp message as well that are typing. By all means, get through to it. Hello, Happy New Year to you as well. Good afternoon. This one says, Joyce, being a parent is not bins. Although I am just a new parent and I've not started paying school fees, but just the money I'm spending on baby food and I can't say that particular brand. Let me just go straight to baby nappies are unreasonable. Hi, Omori in Uselu. How are you doing, Omori? Good afternoon. We're also live on Facebook, by the way. Do join us and do say hi when you come through. And also live on our app, Super FM Global. Go there, say hi, and join the family. So like I said, I have some really interesting tactics that I want to share with parents today. It's about planning the new year properly. For a lot of people, the new year can catch you unaware. Granted, we all knew that it was coming. We all knew that it was happening. But sometimes we can get a little bit carried away in December, spending money, taking care of our family, because there are some bills that are also quite necessary in December. But besides paying bills, there are so many more things that you could be doing with your family with adequate planning this 2023. And I'm going to be telling you exactly how to do that. For now, here's Stuart Savage and David Joe with Packwell. My name is Joyce Chuks. Good afternoon, Bayside. Tiva Savage and Davido with Packwell. At 12 minutes past 1 p.m. this Monday, 9th of January 2023. My name is Joyce Chuks. You're on to your number one family radio station, Super 88.1 FM. This is Mother and Child, our quintessential parenting show.
Bang your head!
Rain Radio. It's like TV without all the colors.
Super 88.1 Benin City.
The station other stations get their music from.
A few more messages. Jagmana Benin says, Joyce, I tire my children's school. They increase school fees every term. That is so problematic. This one is from Omori in Uselu. Omori says, you're doing a great job. I would suggest parents to spend within their means. The house rent, the feeding, the clothing, school fees, and other expenses should be within what the family can offer. This one says, the waste of money during the Xmas is a problem that affects a lot of people with January school fees and all the expenses that come with January. I think you have a point there. As well. We're live on Facebook. You can leave your comment on our Facebook. That is at Super FM Benin. You can go there and drop your comment and we'll take a lot of them. So there's something that, like I was saying, a lot of people do not put appropriate thoughts into. Now, at the beginning of the year, a lot of people have things they call resolutions. People say, oh, this year I want to lose weight. Oh, this year I want to start going to the gym. This year, I want to start eating healthy. This year, I want to do this. This year, I want to do that. Sometimes, a broader picture of family life may not even enter into those resolutions. Sometimes they do. You can have people say that, oh, this year, I want to spend some more time with my kids. This year, I want to spend some more time with my family. This year, I want to take my kids out so much more. This year, I want to move my child to a more expensive school or to a better school, because sometimes expensive does not equal better. A school can cost so much and may not be able to provide the needs that your children have. You know, for example, when we're talking about parenting styles and parenting systems and deciding a school for your child, sometime last year, we had explained that some children may have some gifts and talents in specific inclinations, and you may want to register your child in a school that caters to those kinds of needs. For example, you have a child that shows some interest in sporting activities. You may want to put your child in a school that offers a very robust program for sports because you want to encourage that specific talent in your child, or your child has other talents they have dancing, so you want to register your child in some sort of extracurricular activities or a school or a camp that could train them in that skill. We spoke about these things last year if you're joined in on that particular conversations. But, you know, there is a bigger aspect to all of this, and that aspect is planning. Now, I'm a big planner. I like to plan. I hate surprises. I hate things catching me unaware. Obviously, life is not controlled by me. So there are some things that could catch me unaware. You could always plan to the T, and then something surprising would happen that will ruin all of your great plans. So it is understandable. However, it doesn't mean that we should not lay down any kind of plans. So I think at this time that the year is starting off and opening, you should be able to ask yourself some questions when it comes to parenting and family life. You could ask yourself, what are some things that you want your family and your children to achieve in this year? You could evaluate last year. Look at some of the things that you didn't love that happened last year with your family and with your kids. Did you spend enough time with the kids? Did you have to bear serious financial pressure when you had to pay the bills when it came to your kids and to your family? Do you have a savings plan for your children? Do you have an insurance plan for your family? Especially something like health insurance. With as low as 3,000 naira or 5,000 naira for a monthly subscription, your family can have access to quality healthcare without having to break down whenever a member of the family falls ill. I mean, you have to agree with me that healthcare costs can be crazy. And at the end of the day, while we all pray for good health, while some people have consistent good health, some things could still happen. Kids could still fall sick. And you'd be surprised in how much hospitals will charge, especially private hospitals. There are hospitals that you want to see a specialist, you have to first of all pay 10,000 naira first before you can see the doctor. If it's a general practitioner, they can charge you between 3,000 naira to 5,000 naira. That is before you do tests. That is before you buy drugs, just for you to see the doctor. But if you had a health insurance plan in place, you would still spend some money, because sometimes the plan does not cover every single thing, but it would save you some money just for a token that you're paying every month. These are some kind of things that I think we should plan for in the year 2023. Do you even have a memory bank for your kids? I saw something online that I found really interesting. You know, growing up, we had these things called photo albums. When you go to somebody's house, they'll give you a photo album and you flip through the pictures. You see how the kids have grown over time. Even in your house, you may have a photo album. But now, if you're lucky, maybe you do a big event. You can get like a photo book. It's like a magazine. That's what photographers give us these days. Or they give you a flash drive with all your pictures. But I saw this man say something like he opened an email for pictures. So when he does an event or he's going through life, his kids do something, his wife does something, he has pictures, he has videos, he sends them to an email or he saves them to a drive in the cloud. It could be a Google Drive, could be an MS Word, OneDrive, could be your iCloud, anywhere you can save these things. So that as the time goes on, as kids get older, you have yourself a bank of memories that you can look back and appreciate your life, especially when you're going through tough situations. You can go back and look at that thing and say, myself, I don't try. Look at what I've gone through. Look at what I've achieved. Look at the successes my family has gathered over time. Things might be tough now, but hey, I did all these things. Pat yourself on the back. They would say that if the lizard jumps from a high tree to the ground and nobody claps for it, it will nod and appreciate itself for a job well done. These are kind of the things that you could look into. Another bigger or broader spectrum that we could take this is having a quarterly, monthly, and a weekly plan for your family. Your quarterly plan could cover all that could happen in that quarter, from paying off school fees, lesson fees, social clubs, all the things that you need to buy that are requirements for your kids and even for the house. How and when you want to even pay for those things. How it looks like alongside other expenses in the home. Because we all, even opening a payment plan for your children. I had a family friend when I was growing up that taught my dad something. And well, I was too young to know if he actually applied it, but I hope he did. So this man opened bank accounts for his kids. Now, this is normal when people open bank accounts in their children's names, and then they're paying money for when the kid grows up and they have something to start off their lives, or maybe even pay for university. But no, this is not what this man did. He opened bank accounts in his name in different banks. He was a businessman. So every week after sales, he would put little amounts in those different accounts that he mentally knew was for different children. So when it was time to make those bulk payments, those big school fees, those big things that he would buy for his kids, he would go to the particular bank account for that particular child and get the money out of it. Now, it doesn't mean that his expenses reduced because of that. It only reduced the pressure to produce that kind of money in a small amount of time. I'm not saying that you need to do that, but I'm saying that you could have a payment plan for these big expenses. It is still the same exact amount of money you're going to pay, but the pressure to cough up that lump sum may be reduced because you had been saving in little bits. Budgeting doesn't just stop, for the food stuff that you buy or for the house rent you're paying. Budgeting can go into childcare. It's something that I think that you could look into. Those are for quarterly plans that we'll have for the year. Now let's go into monthly plans that we can have for the year. In your monthly plans, you can take down the things that you want to achieve that month. You could look at your quarterly plan and pick out the things that you can put into your monthly plan. It's breaking down your plan into little bits. You could also include something like a family day. A lot of people complain about not having spent a lot of time with their families. especially in some parts of the world where the father is supposed to bear the brunt of the finances. And you hear things like, oh, he can't spend time with the kids because he's busy, work day, this, da. Or even when you have a mother that works really hard, she has a shop and she has to go to the shop every other day. And sometimes you don't have the time to catch up with your kids. You could plan something called a family day. A family day could be as small as taking a little picnic and going to the zoo. I think to enter the zoo is like 200 or 500. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's not up to 1,000 naira. And you could go there with your own cooked food. The kids get to play, see some animals. Just one random day, one Saturday, one Sunday. You go there, you do that. You're creating memories for your children that they will remember for a very, very long time. That is something I think you should put into your family plan for the new year. I believe it is something that we should plan for. Even if it's 1 day or just 2 days, you'd be surprised at the kind of effect the planning could have. And then finally, you could have your weekly planning. You could plan things like, appointments, regular checkups for the kids, who is going to be picking up the kids this week, who's going to be dropping off the kids at school this week, who's going to be assisting the kids with their homework this week. Not only does this make you more involved in your children's lives, it builds a bond that the kids are going to remember for a long time. A man was making a joke one time and he said that it's only mothers that get to enjoy kids when the kids are older. Because, the kids spend so much time with their mom does this, their mom does that, their mom is washing uniform, doing homework and stuff. But what if you try to, rotate that? This week, mommy does homework, next week, daddy does homework. It's a bond that's going to live with these kids for a very, very long time. So by all means, why not do it? Who's picking up the kids this week? Who's picking up the kids next week? You have a calendar. You never forget. We used to have parents back in the day that would forget their children at school. The kids would be there till like 6 p.m. It was very interesting to look at. But you and your wife and your husband can create a schedule. Even if you're not the one doing the pick-up or drop-off, you have a driver that is doing it. These are things that you can plan for at the start of the year. Or you don't want to, you're very busy, you close work by 6 p.m., and that's when you have the chance to go and pick up your child. You end up with kids that are consistently exhausted because when school closed by 3, they couldn't get home to get enough rest. They play around, struggle, and of course in the morning when you're leaving to your work, to your bank job, to your whatever job that you have by 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m., this child is with you in the vehicle. You have kids that are really, really exhausted. At the start of the year, you could say, do you know what? We want to make sure these kids have more time to rest in the house. So let's get a driver for the children that will pick them up by 7:30 in the morning, bring them back by 3:30, they're already in the house. These are the kind of plans that you can make. You check your finances. Do we have space for this? Look at what we're paying for this year. We're paying for this, and this. Do we have enough money to carve out for this? Those are the kind of conversations that you could be having at the beginning of the year. And I know that this thing might seem a bit taxing, because if you reach we're doing a lot. There's so much to be done. But you can start off with one easy thing. What is one thing that you've always wanted to try that could be a part of your vision for this year? What is one thing you wanted for your family? What is one thing you wanted for your children? And you can start small with that one thing. And plan it out. Make a bigger plan. Break down that big plan into another smaller plan. Break down that other smaller plan into another smaller plan to a way that it is more achievable. And then you can add it to your calendar. There are calendars that will send you reminders. There's Google Calendar, there's Calendly. Most of them are free, or they have a payment plan, but for the thing that you need, it's most likely free. You can have reminders sent to your phone. You receive them. You know when they're happening, that, tomorrow is supposed to be our family day out. You get the reminder, you're at work on Tuesday. You already know that on Saturday that's coming, on Sunday that is coming, there's a family day out there. So you cancel that your plan to go and watch Chelsea and Man U. Or at least you schedule around it. Either way, I feel like there is so much that we can achieve. There's so much that we can do for our families and our children this year, if we do a bit of planning. We may not have heard about creating a family plan for the year, but I'm telling you right now that it is doable. So maybe let's try it this year, you and I. Let's create a life plan for our family. And maybe we can review ourselves in December and see how our family planning did. What do you think? Think about it for a little bit. I want to say a big thank you to all our parents. It is not a day's job being a parent. From the very first day you even conceive the idea of having a family, it is a taxing job. It's an expensive job. It takes so much more than just money. It costs you emotionally, costs you financially, costs your time, makes you to become a brand new individual. It is not easy being accountable for a whole other human being. And as a parent, you may even have multiple children that you have to keep alive and to make into fully functional adults in society. It is a tough job, and I want to applaud you for having come this far. And I'm very sure that you will continue to put in the great job that you're doing for the year 2023. And maybe, if we have the time to do a bit more planning, it'll be an even more successful ride this year. So thank you for joining our very first episode of this parenting show, Mother and Child. My name is Joyce Chuks. You're on to your number one family radio station, Super 88.1 FM. I'm still on your radio till 3 p.m. today, and it's fantastic radio all day, every day.
In the holy book of Super, chapter 88, verse 1, the family that listens to Super FM, they stay together. And so shall it be.